Hello guys, welcome back to my channel Automation Hub Sarthak, and in this playlist of Python automation in English, we will try to keep in sync with the Hindi playlist as well. So in today's video, we will learn about video 3 for English playlist. We will learn about data types in Python. Okay, so I've already done a Hindi video on this, but I'm making an English video for this English playlist. So let us jump into it. And I'll create a new Python file and I'll write 2 underscore data types in Python. Okay. So basically the data types in Python are, so let me write it in a comment section. So basically the data types in Python are mostly, first is numeric. Okay. And then we have your sequence. We have your mapping. We have set. We have boolean, we have certain none type as well, but these are the ones which are more important. So we will go with this thing. The first one, we will go with numeric, we'll go with sequence, we'll go with mapping, we'll go with set, we will go with boolean. Then there is something known as binary, and after that you can also go for none. But it's okay, I will not explain each and everything. The ones which are important we will. So let's start with the very first one, which is nothing but the binary kind of data type. So here in the numeric, sorry, not the binary, in the numeric we will go with this. Hold on. In numeric, the ones, so rather than writing here, I'll write down here. It'll make more sense. So numeric is mostly divided into 3. One is the integer, which is int, that represents whole numbers. So int, this is nothing but the integer which represents whole numbers. I don't want to write represents whole numbers. This much you would understand. And then float, floating is nothing but decimal numbers, and followed by complex. Complex is something which will have a correct number or a real number in collaboration with an imaginary number, so or imaginary value. So that is what it will be. So let's first decode the numeric aspect of it. Okay, so I'll start very simple. Let's say I'll write age. Let's say age equals to 25. So here the age variable is nothing but an int data type or integer data type. Okay, so now how will I prove? How do I prove that this is actually integer? So there is a method in your Python which is known as type. Okay, what type it is. So if I right click and run this, see, it is an integer data type. So I have declared a variable age with a value 25, and then I'm printing what type it is, what data type it is. So type of age is print what kind of this data type is. So type is int, so it is just printing that it is an int. That's what. Okay, now let's say I'll write height equal to 6.5, and then I'll write print. What is this height all about? What kind of data type it is? Float. Okay, now let's do certain complex things. For example, let's say value. What value? Is like you give number 5 and let's say 4j. So now it'll ask, what is this value? Let's find out. So this looks like a real number, and this looks like an imaginary number. We do not know what 4j is, but here it will signify that this is some kind of complex numeric data type. So these are the examples of numeric data types. It's very easy, so nothing to be so wondering about. Now, sequence is basically divided into 4 types. First is string, and we represent as small str. Str is nothing but, it's sequence of characters. Then comes list. Okay, So string you can write is as sequence of characters. We all know this. Now list is nothing but it's an ordered collection which can be modified, which is modifiable. That means whatever the ordered collection is, you can modify it. Okay. The third within the sequence data type is tuple. This is also an ordered collection, but immutable, sorry. That means it cannot be modified. Okay. So I'll bring this fellow here. Okay, and finally we have something known as range. So typically tuple is written, will show up like this, tuple, lowercase, range. Range, it also represents sequence of numbers. Okay, range means 1 to 5, 10 to 20. Range, sequence of numbers, but that falls under the sequence numeric category. So let's go ahead and have some examples of all these 4 kinds of things. So let's go ahead. So here, let me try with a string first. So let's say name. So I'll write first name, John, last name, Sina. Print type first underscore name, print type last underscore name. You will see both will be strings. You see, first name, last name, both are strings. So this is how you represent. So, and you see in the output, you will see str. It is not like in Java, s uppercase tring. No. Okay. Every programming language has their own set of representations. You have to respect that. Fine. So now string is over. Let's go with the list one. So string we have done. Let's go with the list part of it. So let's say I'll write fruits. I'll write first apple, banana, orange, peach. So I've listed down some fruits. Okay. So print type fruits. So let's see list. Got it? So this is very simple. So this is list. Now let's see tuple. So now tuple comes in the sense, as I said, tuple is also an ordered collection, but it is immutable. That means it cannot be modified. So what kind of collection you do not want to modify? For example, coordinates or some kind of numbers which are hard coded to a particular individual or to a particular entity. You don't want them to be modified. So let's go with coordinates. So coordinates equal to, let's say, or x and y axis, some particular point. So let's say coordinates here 10 in x axis, 20 in y axis. Okay. Print. What is this coordinates? And let's run this. Tuple. Okay. So it's very simple. Now let's understand the range. As I said, in the range we representing sequence of numbers. So what does this range represent? Sequence of numbers. So let's say I'll write numbers equal to, here you have to use the keyword range. Let's say 5 or let's say 10. Okay. Print type numbers. Range. Now you want to print what is this range. So you're like, how do I know what is this? print the list of it. See, it's not that difficult. It will print 0 to 9. Okay. So this is range, to show you actually what the range is. As I said, range is a sequence of numbers. So here I wrote the keyword range for this variable numbers. But how will you signify, how will you prove that this is actually a range? It's not just a number 10. It has 10 sequence of numbers starting from 0 to 9. So this is how you do it. Simple. So I've already told you about list. Okay. So this is about your sequence kind of data type. Now let's come down to mapping. Mapping is simple. You have dictionary, which is represented as dict. Now what does it represents? A collection of key value pairs where keys are unique. Okay. Value can change, but keys need to be unique. So let's understand an example. Let's say we'll take student. Okay. So student, the first key is, let's say, name. So let's give a name, John again. Okay. Let's write, age. Here you do not have to mention anything, no double quotes, because age is something which is represented as so grade, let's say A. So here I have represented a particular student whose name is John, whose age is 20 and his grade is A. So print type student. It's a dictionary. Okay. So dictionary represents a collection of key value pairs where keys are unique. You can change this, but not this. Simple. So now let's go to set. So set has basically two. One is known as set, which is nothing but unordered collection of unique items. This is the collection concept. Set interface you must have read. It is an unordered collection. It cannot allow duplicates and all that stuff. So here also almost on the same principles it is working. So one is set, the other one is known as a frozen set. Now what is a frozen set? Immutable version of a set. That's it. So set will be unordered collection. Here will be immutable. My bad spelling mistake. Okay, so let's do small examples of set. We'll come here. Let's say unique numbers. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now print you will see this will come as data type set. You see, data type set. Now how will you use frozen set? Again, you have to use the word frozen. Okay, frozen set, you have to use that particular keyword, and then you can define in the square bracket like this. So this particular set you are freezing it. Print, sorry, my bad. Frozen set. Okay, now let's go into Boolean category. So Boolean is basically having one, which is bool. It is either true or false. Okay, and it will be represented by T uppercase and F uppercase. Okay, when we see in the output, it will look like that. The data type will be T uppercase or F uppercase, it will not be lowercase. So is Python easy? So let's say I'll write true. So write print type is Python easy. So this one should show boolean. You see, bool. Okay. Now let's say is adult, we'll write age greater than 18. Print type is, so this one will also be true. It's boolean, so it's a true. If true or false, this will print like this. So these are the data types which we do. Binary types consider of 3 more. One is bytes, that is immutable sequence of bytes. I want you to do it as a homework. Byte array. This is also mutable sequence of bytes. And the last one is memory view. Memory view means it will allow memory manipulation without copying any kind of things. So this binary type, you can do it as an example. If not, I'll let you know. Okay, if you can ask me. None type. So none type of data is, there is one which is known as none, and it represents a null or no value state. Okay, so let's do none type. So let's say result came out to be none. Print type result none type. So this is all about your data types in Python. It might look easy, but you need to still practice it. It's easy, of course it is. So please let me know if you have any doubts. If I'm going too fast, let me know. I'll slow down a bit. But because this Python automation is going to be quite a long series, so I'm trying to capture as much videos as I want to, and I'm not uploading more than 1 or 2 videos every day, so you'll have enough time to practice and learn at your own pace. And please subscribe to my channel and keep supporting me, because I have very less subscribers. For someone who has made almost 400 videos, the subscribers amount is too less. So kindly help me out with that. Thank you so much. Sarthak is signing off.